Thank you, Steve. Okay, thank you all for coming. So my name is Jonas, or Jonas Charaf, and I'm a senior OpenRAN technical lead working at CapGemini Engineering. Currently taking care of the technical leading of the I14Y lab from CapGemini side. So that's a little bit of introduction of myself. Just for those who doesn't know or heard or didn't hear of CapGemini, we're one of the top 3 consultancies worldwide with more than 350,000 employees with 22.5 billion euros revenue in 2023. We're a family of brands. I'll shortly explain that. So you have CapGemini, CapGemini Invent, Engineering, and Sogoti. And yeah, we're a French company. Our headquarters is in France, in Paris. Next, so as said, we are worldwide. We're in 50 plus countries with more than 120,000 nationalities. 120 nationalities. And then, one thing to mention about the revenue. So you can see that 13% of our revenue is coming from the telecom, media, and technology sector. And from 2020 until today, we have an increase of 21.5% in revenue in that sector. So a family of brands. So we have CapGemini Invent, where we're doing business and managing consultancy. And then you have CapGemini, where we do cloud, infra services, application services, and so on. And where I come from, CapGemini Engineering, focusing more on R&D aspects. So talking about telco, we have different telco labs, initiatives, and center of excellence worldwide. I come from Germany, the Center of Excellence for 5G Center of Excellence. And then, for example, here in Portugal, we have in Fondão, we have our 5G lab where we focus on mobility, and then some EU projects are also running in that lab with the help of that lab. For example, in the US, we have our 5G lab where we're working on end-to-end non-terrestrial network. And we just launched, a few months back, our 6G lab also in India. Just a little bit of overview here. Actually it's not our approach, but this is our portfolio when it comes to 5G and OpenRAN. I'm not going to go in all aspects. I'll just highlight the ones that has to deal with really OCP and why we're here. So we have, of course, wide varieties of areas where we work, such as 5G private networks. We have our, where we actually do design for private networks, software frameworks, etc. We have our design integration advanced network. So that's a service that we do, and actually we have our own software frameworks, and that's for 5G. We have our own software stacks, and we also do system integration, of course. And this is one of the areas that probably will highlight because of the Open Compute project today. And then, of course, product connectivity for industries is also one of the areas where we do lab as a service. That's just as what we're doing at I14Y lab, bringing the lab towards automation, and we're also providing the reference design for the lab and the end-to-end connectivity. Regarding our strategy for OpenRAN, as said, we are a multi-vendor system integrator with multiple partnerships. So we've been partnering with all OpenRAN major vendors worldwide, and we're also white labeling these 5G stacks that I just mentioned. So we provided to third-party vendors where we could also, since we have the software skills, we could also support the third-party vendors in bringing that step forward based on their requirements. Just not to go too much in details. So a little bit of our industry engagement. So for ORAN Alliance perspective, we've been actively contributing the work to different work groups, of course. For example, work group 8, where we do L2, L3 architecture for API specifications. L2 schedule as well, and we demonstrated in 2023 and even 2021 first AI ML based radio network application for 5G Mac schedule. And we call that project Marconi, and it's a project that's been done in collaboration with Intel as well. For Telecom Infra project, we've been actively contributing to different working groups, especially with Rhea and Roma for RIC and orchestration as well. And we've been supporting for these blueprints that the Telecom Infra project's been working on with tier 1 operators in Europe. So, of course, coming to the area of industry accelerators, we have the I-14 YLab. We're one of the consortium partners, and we're providing, as said, the end-to-end reference implementation at the I-14 YLab, and supporting with the aspect of certification badging, plug fests from the beginning of I-14 YLab to today. At Cable Labs, we've been involved with this 5G challenge from NTIA, where it was hosted at Cable Labs. We got few awards there, we'll mention it later. And and of course at Sonic Labs, last but not least, where we do as well, we have I'm not sure if it's one or two end-to-end reference setups that the Sonic Labs has. Next, talking about collaboration. So we think that there's different areas for us to collaborate within the OpenRAN development, ranging from supply chain diversity, innovation in RAN, for example, with leveraging OpenRAN APIs and so on. TCO reduction is one of the areas where we could also collaborate. And having a resilient deployment. That means end-to-end automation, CI/CD pipelines, CT pipelines, and so on. So I think for OCP, one of the main areas that we would do for Evenstar is the supply chain diversity, where disaggregating hardware from software, having different software on top of the hardware, and then even talking about interoperability between the Evenstar radio, for example, with other DUCU. That's also where we could contribute through our partnerships and so on. So I'll come towards the different areas. I'll explain a little bit about the different projects that we have in a few slides, just for the sake of time. So a little bit about our approach for having a 5G intelligent OpenRAN. So as said, we have the different software frameworks starting from bottom to top. You have the CUDU. So that's our own CUDU. We have even L1 developed on top of Intel Fixed RAN, based on Intel Fixed RAN, and these are all or adapted for AI/ML approach. So we have the support so our software supports all the different API calls, whatever calls could go for as a standard conform ORAN component. We also have our own ORAN SC RIC controller we developed in-house based on based on ORAN SC, our near real-time RIC, and as well as we have our non-real-time RIC. I'll go a little bit to talk about our different XApp approach and RApp approach, because for that we have developed our own XApps, RApps, and we also co-develop XApps, RApps with different partners. For the sake of time, I'm not going to go deeply in each one, but just as an example, we have our own energy-saving XApp and RApp that has been used in one of the projects, Project Boss, I will explain shortly what the project was is about. One of for talking about intelligent OpenRAN, one of the projects that I mentioned earlier is the project Macroni, where we have our first machine learning AI ML MAG scheduler optimized for on top of Intel Xeon processor. And for that project, we use our own net anticipate framework, and in collaboration with Ratio, our RIC, to really work on reducing energy consumption, so energy efficiency, and then enhancing your spectral efficiency so that you don't have trade-off. Project POS, again. Project POS here really focused on sustainability from end-to-end perspective. So you have the energy consumption within the RAN, energy consumption in the core, at the edge, and even at the infrastructure layer. And for this project, we already have been working on trials with tier 1 operators in Europe, one operator, because we know that energy costs are typically 23% of the network OpEx. And out of that, you have approximately 73% coming from mobile network energy. And then most of that energy consumed at the radio unit. So for that, we have this project POS, where we have an AI-enabled energy saving specifically for 5G in general. So we have it for OpenRAN and as well as traditional RAN. And we've been seeing 16% of energy saved with 30% CO2 reduction. Just a couple of highlights here of recognition coming from the industry. So we have won the 5G challenge. So just highlighting a couple, I'm not going to go into details. So in 2022, we won, as well in 2023, we won the 5G challenge from NTIA in the US for best, I think it was the multi-vendor end-to-end integration prize, as well as the best interoperable end-to-end. And then I would like to mention, before we close this presentation, our recent achievement at I14 YLab as a consulting partner, where we had the first EU ORAN end-to-end batch for our CUDU, where our CUDU was part of this. That's for now. If there's any question, we can take it after the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.